What's going on, my people? Hello everyone, welcome to another video of mine. Erling Haaland, new breaking news in regards to him from Matt Law, all the reliable journalists. There's some new update news on top of yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, make sure you go and check it out. I posted it around 24 hours ago. Big update in terms of Erling Haaland that I did yesterday, so go and check it out. If you have, there is another update in regards to Erling Haaland. This is hottening up, hot news. Yeah, 48 hours FC back again. This is major news. As I said, reliable journalists and reporting this news. I'll also be discussing Callum Hudson-Odoi and potentially him leaving on loan to Bayern Munich. Of course, Bayern Munich still interested in securing his services. We'll be speaking about Hakim Ziyech potentially on the move to Serie A this summer. And of course, we'll be speaking about Tammy Abraham because there's some links in regards to Erling Haaland. So I'll be speaking about that. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into this news daily. And starting off with the biggest news story, of course it is the generational superstar that is Erling Haaland. According to Matt Law, he wrote an article literally 45 minutes ago. This is fresh, hot news for you guys. As I said before, updated exclusive news on this channel. Brand new news when it comes to reliable journalists. You'll be hearing it here first on this channel, so make sure you hit the bell notification. Now, Matt Law has stated that Erling Haaland is believed to be interested in the move to Chelsea if they can find a way of negotiating a deal with Borussia Dortmund, either for this summer or next. Now, again, this is quite interesting because if you focus on the last bullet point that you mentioned here, either this summer or next summer. Now, for me, I was really confused by this because the fact that Erling Haaland is interested in signing for Chelsea is massive news in itself. That's the first time I've actually heard that, by the way, because so far all we've been hearing is that Chelsea are interested in signing Haaland. Chelsea are going to put this bid in. Dortmund want this fee for him. Raiola wants this amount of money, this amount of extortionate agent fees for him. That's what we've heard so far, but we've never actually heard if Haaland wants to actually come to Chelsea. So hearing Matt Law say that Erling Haaland is actually interested in signing for Chelsea is massive news. And it just emphasises our pull power. Never mess with Chelsea's pull power. We got that pure power, that amazing, that delicious pull power that no other European club has, apart from your Barcelona's, Real Madrid. Of course, they've got that natural pull power because of the history of the club. But in terms of what we are the kings of Europe. Yeah, we know what we are. We're the champions of Europe. So, of course, we're the most luxurious, we're the most attractive proposition for any sort of player and agent and their representatives because we've just won the Champions League. We are the best team in Europe. So, again, of course, we're going to be interesting to Erling Haaland. But as I said, the final bullet point says a lot. It tells a full story and it highlights the situation. Either this summer or next summer. Now, what does this mean? What does this actually mean? Does this mean that we're not going to sign this summer because Dortmund are reluctant to sell him and they're going to wait for the release clause next year? Because we know that Haaland has that €75 million release clause that will take place and will become active next summer. Is that what Dortmund are waiting for? And if so, they're essentially reluctant to sell him now and they're not going to sell him for any sort of fee this summer. And in that case, then that's where many clubs come in because by that point next summer, everything changes in the space of 12 months. Firstly, his buyout clause becomes active, that's €75 million. On top of that, because of his cheap fee, and of course we're going to be coming out of this pandemic, a lot of clubs are going to recover financially. Your Juventuses, your Real Madrids, your Barcelonas, your Paris Saint-Germains, your Man Cities, your Manchester Uniteds, where they're also going to be in the deal for him. So we're going to have to negotiate and we're going to be in a complete race with all of these clubs. And right now, it's a one-way race. You know, many of these clubs are still in this financial pandemic situation, this pandemic crisis where they can't afford to essentially keep the club afloat, let alone even buy and pay extortionate, astronomical fees for Erling Haaland, which is going to be 150 million plus, easily minimum. So again, it's kind of this is the best opportunity, a bit like what we did with Kai Havertz, where Kai Havertz was that generational talent. Bayern Munich and Real Madrid wanted him, but because of the situation, they can afford him. And of course, Chelsea being such an attractive proposition and our pull power, we signed him last summer, and of course, he's now got a Champions League medal. In terms of this, again, Dortmund might be reluctant and go, we're going to keep him at all costs this summer, but we're going to let him go for €75 million next summer. Now, that could be option one. Option two could be similar to what we did with Pulisic. If you guys cast your minds back to 18 months ago, we secured that deal for Pulisic in that January window. We then loaned him back to Dortmund and then he came 6 months later in the summer. Is that what this could mean? That we potentially pay the fee up front now, we then loan him out like a Pulisic type deal, and then we essentially get him next summer because he's already our player? That could be another potential option. Now, there is a couple of stumbling blocks and issues with this. Firstly, I don't see this being realistic. Chelsea need a number 9 now. Yeah, we have goal scoring problems now. No one in our team can put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah, and Haaland is your guy. Yeah, so if that means we have to wait for another year to get this done, what does that mean for next season? Well, we're going to still go into next season with Timo Werner misfiring all season. So for me, the striker is a priority. We're aiming and we're ambitious enough right now that we need to be challenging for that Premier League title. For me, we're not challenging without a world-class number 9. So for me, Haaland is either this summer or you forget it. There's no point in waiting next year. As I said, so I don't see that being realistic at all. I think Chelsea want him now. Now, as I said yesterday, Roman is aggressive. He wants this deal now. Yeah, he's pushing for this move because he's being extra aggressive this summer. And of course you're going to be. And as I said, we're champions of Europe. We've got top 4 qualification. Everything is in our hands now. We've got the finances. The finances are green. We've got the pull power. We've got the lure of London. We've got the lure of the Premier League. So Chelsea's a perfect, attractive destination for Erling Haaland. But it's a matter of how we're going to get this deal done. Now, if you guys think that this deal is going to get done in the next few weeks, yeah, you need to rethink, because it's not going to be done. This is going to drag all summer, essentially. As I said last time, the Kai Havertz deal will be similar to this. We were interested back in May. It dragged throughout the whole of the summer, and then we announced them in September. Something similar is going to happen here, because it's these mega deals that are going to cost multi millions, where there's going to be so many people involved in terms of representatives, agents, fathers, the clients. Then you've got the clubs as well negotiating the fee. It's going to drag weeks and weeks, and then Dortmund got to find a replacement. That's going to take time. So for me, as I've always said, if we're going to sign, this is going to drag throughout the whole summer. It's going to take weeks of negotiating. This summer is going to be Marina versus Minarola. As I said, another possible solution to lower that fee with Dortmund, of course, we're trying new things to get Haaland over the line, is Chelsea discussing a move for Erling Haaland to see if it's viable before pursuing other targets. They're also exploring the option of including Tammy Abraham in the deal. Now, this is very interesting. This is where things get a bit spicy now, because, of course, if we're including Tammy in the deal, that's going to reduce the fees and lower the costs. If, for example, Haaland was going to initially cost 150 million plus, let's say 150, 160, the total package in terms of wages, agent fees, etc., and bonuses, we could reduce that to maybe a 120 plus an Abraham. And that's, of course, more lucrative for Chelsea, because that means we don't have to pay out so much financially. And, of course, we were always looking to get rid of Tammy. Tammy still gets a top club in Europe. Dortmund still get a striker. They still get an extortionate amount for Haaland, and we still get a superstar striker for a reduced fee. So, in that case, everyone wins. The only stumbling block is if Tammy doesn't want to move to Germany, if Dortmund even want Tammy. So there's of course some complications here that we have to watch out for. But at the moment, Chelsea exploring options. As I've always said before, this is going to drag. This, of course, is going to drag, because at the moment we're just looking at different options. We're throwing things in. We're just negotiating. This is the early doors. We're just testing the waters. This is just positive talks have been held. That's it. That's why it's going to take days and weeks and even months to get this deal done, or potentially even attempting to get this deal done. But that is the latest news on Erling Haaland. Of course, Chelsea, he is our number 1 target. He is a club target. He is a priority. Chelsea are desperate for number 9. Thomas Tuchel, of course, approves this deal. Chelsea will do everything in their power. Roman will push aggressively to get this deal over the line. And as it stands right now, Erling Haaland is interested and fascinated to join Chelsea. So, of course, it's all good news at the moment. Now, moving on to some other news, and it is in regards to Callum Hudson-Odoi. According to the Times Sport, an English publication and outlet, Chelsea will consider offers for Callum Hudson-Odoi as Bayern Munich renew their interest. Now, very contradicting reports. I heard some things behind the background. I've also been reading some more reliable reports that Callum is very happy at Chelsea. He wants to fight for his place. Thomas Tuchel has massive plans for Callum for next season. He's going to be using him extensively in pre-season and for next season. He's going to be using wingers in his new system, and he rates Callum very highly. So for me, this is more of a redundant news outlet. I don't see this having any sort of a substance to it whatsoever. It's just been manufactured. I don't see this being true whatsoever. It's contradicting to what I've heard, and it's contradicting to essentially the more reliable outlets. So I would see this as more of a nothing story. Of course, we know Bayern Munich are interested. They came in twice. They were so close signing him initially when we had Sarri, and then they essentially put another bid, a £70 million loan with the option to buy. Of course, Chelsea rejected it. So, as I've always said, Bayern Munich have always had that long-term interest in Callum, because, of course, he's a world-class talent. He's a phenomenal player, but Thomas Tuchel rates him. I rate him very highly. So he's one of our star boys. We're going to back him, and you're going to see the real Callum for next season. So for me, again, it's a contradicting report. I wouldn't look into this too much. Callum is here to stay for next season. And finally, moving on to the final reports, and it is in regards to Hakim Ziyech. Now, according to various Italian publications, Gazzetta dello Sport and Sky Sports Italia, their reports that Napoli are leading the race to sign Hakim Ziyech alongside AC Milan as well. Napoli are leading the race. Contact has already been made and have been established for the Chelsea winger. AC Milan are also interested in the Moroccan and are keen to land him for a low price. Now, again, we know that Ziyech hasn't had the great season. There have been some circumstances, of course. The Eredivisie was suspended quite early, so his fitness was in the gutter. He's had to adapt to the Premier League. Thomas Tuchel's coming, the 3-back system doesn't suit him. On top of that, he's had a couple of severe injuries. So, of course, there are some circumstances, some actual scenarios as to why Ziyech hasn't fulfilled his potential at Chelsea in his first season. But I think it's more of a fact that we need to give him some time. I think that he's bound to improve. There's no way this guy can have a worse season than the first season. And it wasn't even that bad. I mean, he scored in some crucial games. He scored in both of the Man City games. He scored in the Atletico Madrid game. He's had a few goals here and there. He's got quite a few assists. And yes, he's been disappointing and underwhelming. But as I said, as I've already listed the circumstances, I think it's a case of giving this guy time to nurture. He's going to have a full pre-season on a Tuchel's changing system where it's going to be more catered around towards wingers. So, of course, it's going to be more suited to Hakim Ziyech. I think you're going to see a much better, much more improved Hakim Ziyech for next season. And I would personally be inclined to give him one more year. I think that we need to give more time to Hakim Ziyech. I think, again, he's a top quality winger in the prime of his career. Skillful, tricky, offers another dimension off the bench, another dimension, a team that we don't have. He gives us that creativity. I think it's a matter of giving a guy time. He's already adapted to the Premier League now. Now we can see what Ziyech's really about. And I think Tuchel, of course, will have a plan for him. As I said, AC Milan got no money, man. Like, these men want to chat here and say, you know, oh yeah, we're gonna sign Ziyech. They barely afforded Tomori, so I don't know where they're gonna recoup funds to sign Ziyech. For me, that's a nothing story. In terms of Napoli, we'll have to wait and see. But as I'm saying right now, I think Ziyech will stay for next season. So let's wait and see. But that is me wrapping up the News Daily. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. And I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.